Like, where am I? Am I in the place that I've wanted to be? Am I doing the things that I wanted to do? Or have I allowed other people to speak into my life and now I'm living their journey and not mine? Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is David Aguilar, the Holy Hispanic, with a little bit more knowledge for y'all today. So, one of the things I was thinking about this morning was a conversation my wife and I had a couple years back when she was going to finish college. And I remember we're in a place financially where we didn't, she needed to pay for it. We didn't know if we could pay. And a lot of stress was being created because she felt like she had to finish at a certain time because of her parents, right? Her mom and her stepdad were telling her when to finish. I remember she was super stressed out about it, and we were sitting on the couch, and I thought, and I asked her, like, why are you such a hurry? And she was like, well, no, my mom and my father-in-law and this and that. And I was like, well, are they paying for your college? And she was like, no. I'm like, well, is anybody else paying for your college? And she was like, no. I'm like, who is? She was like, well, you, because we're about to get married. And she was like, me. And I was like, okay, so there's only two people who should be telling you when to finish, and that's me and that's you, because we're the ones paying for it. Now, am I telling you when to finish? And she was like, no. I'm like, have I rushed you? Have I told you to finish now? And she was like, no. And I was like, so then what are you worried about? See, she was worried about someone else's time frame for her life. She needed to create her own time frame for her life. And I think that's what we forget a lot about, is that people make us feel like we're running races and not marathons, right? And that was something I had to realize about myself, is that, early on, I wanted to get married and I wanted a job and I wanted this and I wanted that, not because I wanted it, but because other people told me that I needed it. Other people were telling me your life is not fulfilled unless you have these things. And I was living my life and my timeline and my desires were on what other people wanted, not what I wanted. And so when I had the conversation with my wife, it really ended up easing her a lot because it was a whole different perspective. The perspective was, well, my parents have always told me to do or this and that. Therefore, I'm still in that mindset. But now I have this freedom, even in this area where my parents can't tell me when and when not to finish. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing, because a lot of us, we're not self-motivated. So we kind of need those voices to push us. But most of us, or others of us, aren't that way, and we are self-motivated, or we can get by ourselves. So why are we allowing other people to speak into our ears and motivate us and influence us in ways that we don't want to go? So again, that was something that I had to learn for myself early on in life, was everybody has their own path to success. People are gifted in their own ways, and people are meant to be successful in their own ways and through their own journeys. But what we tend to do is interrupt that. Right? We don't want to be a passenger. We want to be a driver for other people's lives. Man, one thing I've had to learn a lot is I have to be the passenger sometimes. If the person is driving the car and I have the map, or if I'm in charge of the tunes or whatever it is, I gotta make sure that, because I'm the passenger, I gotta make sure that I'm helping the driver out. Right? My wife, in her life, she's the driver of her life. I don't know her desires ultimately. I don't know her passions and all these things, but what I can do as a husband is point her to ways that she can get better and ways that can help her. I can do that with my friends. I can do that with family, because at the end of the day, I cannot change anybody. We need to be the ones to change ourselves. I've changed myself through these ways, through the getting up early, through the exercise, through the reading, through the eating right, through so many ways that I've tried to make myself the best person that I can be, because I kind of found myself as I couldn't really do other things. So find out who you are. Sit in quietness, wrestle with yourself, go back to your passions, desires from when you were a kid and say, yo, like, where am I? Am I in the place that I've wanted to be? Am I doing the things that I wanted to do? Or have I allowed other people to speak into my life and now I'm living their journey and not mine? And now you're not happy with your life because this isn't your life, it's their life. So make sure you walk down your path. Make sure to wrestle with the things you're meant to wrestle with. Wrestle with your problems, not other people's problems. But if other people ask you for advice, don't be afraid to give it to them. But don't try to be the driver of people's life. All right? Be a good passenger. Get a dope playlist going. And you know what? Crack some jokes. Have some fun. Eat some chips. Remember to